What is up, guys, and welcome to the Meeple Monday podcast, the podcast where we talk all things tabletop gaming. My name is Jason.
And I'm Matt.
How are you doing this week, sir?
Nice to be back in this very lovely studio.
I've been a bit busy, haven't I?
I have. Every time I come here, there's a new upgrade, or something's moved, or there's more leg room.
There's a lot more leg room. We can actually lean back now. We're not pushed up against the wall.
Now.
Yep.
Yeah.
A few changes. They can't see it on the camera. There's a lot more games on the wall over there.
Yes, nice displayed.
Wonderful.
I'm like, I want that one. I'm going to play that one, and that one.
Yeah, so normally when we talk about games, we sort of point over here, but now there's nothing over
now we
there.
have to turn off camera and
exactly. But there's been a few things, few upgrades around the studio, which I'm very happy with. I've been incredibly busy with solo videos in the build up to Expo. I was hoping that we'd get a podcast done before all that started. As a team, we could sort of start Meeple Mania, get you to do a Vince McMahon style intro, but yeah, we didn't manage to make that happen. No. My fault.
I'll have to dig out the Ant-Man McMahon outfit next year.
Oh, 100%.
Well, I don't know. Is that too far-fetched nowadays?
Yeah, we'll see the outcome of the lawsuits, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, other than that, how have you been, sir?
Yeah, good. Busy, but like I said, it's just nice to actually be back here, back in the studio.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to Expo? Because it's now, what time we're recording? 21 days?
21 days, baby.
21 days at the time we're recording.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Like we said before the episode started, it is the most wonderful time of the year for us UK fans. Oh, yes. So I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good this year. I said to you just before we went on that this is probably the most excited I've been for a UK Games Expo since my very first attendance, but I can't pinpoint why. There's a lot of good games coming out that I'm really interested in. There's a lot of people that I'm looking forward to seeing again. There's an amazing amount of creators that are going this year. We've got publishers that we need to talk to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going.
Yeah.
A lot going on this year, but I think it's just that it's the 20th anniversary. There's going to be some specialness.
I think that, and that last year we were so jam-packed trying to do stuff for content-wise. And we didn't really game as much as we could have done, but we've kind of planned it out that we can get more of this in and do more of that now and spread it out amongst the weekends. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think gaming is 100% is going to be high on the list to do this year. But we've got a few things to talk about today. We've got some questions that have come up across some of the videos that I've been doing. We've got some frequently asked questions that appear on UKG's website that we're going to try and answer for people out there, because we have quite a few people evidently that are first timers this year.
Okay.
So they've obviously been asking a few questions, and we aim to answer that. But before we do that, so that is coming, should we talk about some games that we have been playing to get us back in the rhythm before we start hitting these questions?
A little bit of chat beforehand.
Exactly. So have you been playing some games recently?
To be honest, I haven't been playing games. I have been buying games, or games have been delivered.
Okay.
But in theory, I haven't really had chance to play games.
Yeah.
With the job that I do, half term and busy periods and stuff, I'm not really having much of a chance to do it. So no, but a lot of stuff has arrived, or I have bought some stuff. I've just not actually got anything to the table yet. So I can mention what I've got and bought, but I can't say I've actually played it yet.
Okay, so what have you been buying so far? Surprising you're buying games in the build up to the show of shows.
So I bought a game that I wanted to play last year and wasn't too sure to play or not, because I'm not a big fan of the studio that made it.
Okay.
But what I've seen of it and what every content creator has been banging on about this game for so much, but I ended up buying Tend.
Okay.
The Flip and Right game from Ivy Studios. And Ivy Studios obviously did Fractured Skies and Moonrakers and stuff.
Yep.
Two games I'm not particularly a fan of. But this looks amazing from what I've seen and how I've learned it, how I've learned the game and stuff, how it's all writing, card drafting, scratching off scratch cards and stuff like that to do certain things. It looks like there's a lot to do, but it just looks fantastic of what you can do in this game.
Yeah.
And every time you do something, it earns you something. Like, it doesn't, like, if you take a resource, you have to do something with it straight away. You can't just like store it and use it for later. You have to do something with it. But then you've got to look at your chart and you've got to look at your scratch cards and all this sort of thing. It seems like there's a lot on the table to do, but for what it is pretty spectacular for what it is. So I'm looking forward to playing that for the first time.
Very nice, very nice. Fractured Sky, I think you used to own that, right?
So
if I remember correctly, we played it.
We played it. We played it twice, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
But I was excited about the production of it, but as a game itself, I don't think it delved well with me, to be honest. So I was like,
it just didn't hit.
Yeah, it didn't hit, and the fact that I think you pointed out, well, if that's the aim of the game, why can't I just do that? And I was like, that does make a perfect sense, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that and a couple other games like Moonrakers, I'm not a big fan of theirs at all. So yeah, it was a gamble to try 10, but I think the payoff is going to be quite good with this one.
Okay, I shall look forward to hopefully getting that to the table with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. So I also haven't been playing that much recently. It's been very, very tough for me recently. Obviously, with spending most of my time doing video content, a lot more than what I'm used to be doing.
Of course.
You know, couple that with my own fault. I obviously operate a second YouTube channel as well, doing stuff for that. It's just been a very, very busy time, and even the Monday nights that I run my game club, it's been so. I don't want to say so busy at the club because it hasn't been super busy. But we have been making some major changes there. You know, we've gone from 2 halls down to 1. So it's busy in the sense of 1 hall has got a lot of people in it now.
So you haven't got time to get to the table more because you're doing more.
Exactly, yeah. There's more people coming up and wanting to talk and all that kind of stuff. And then games that I've wanted to play, I haven't been able to get to the table because obviously we've got no tables left.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been a tough time, but I did manage to go to the Meeple Minded alumni Paul. He had his game day.
Okay, yeah.
So I did manage to go along to that, and I went along with Simon from Board Stupid.
Nice.
And we got to play Rebirth. Now,
I've played Galicia, right?
That's the one.
Yeah.
I've played Rebirth before, but I haven't played it for quite some time, and it was nice to get Rebirth back to the table. Don't remember who won it, but it was interesting. There was a few people. I think we had a full accompaniment actually for that game.
Nice.
But it's just an amazing production of a game. You've got those gorgeous little buildings and sort of the map of Scotland, which was the map we played on, and just seeing the board slowly fill up with all these different colours.
Nice.
And then it's like, oh, I've got this objective card that says if I have the most influence over this castle here, at the end of the game, I'm going to get X amount of points. But right now, Simon's got his snidey little troops in there, so I'm gonna snidely put some power stations around the side, and oh look, it's mine now. You know, there's a nice sort of element of player interaction to that game, without being too mean.
Right.
You know, it's not like I'm going in there going, no, I just want to attack your building for no apparent reason. You're not attacking anything. It just so happens if I've got the most influence, it's my building.
Right.
So yeah, I really, really enjoy Rebirth. I would say because it was a 2024 release, I believe.
I believe it was Board Stupid's favourite game of that year as well.
It was. It was a lot of people's favourite game of the year. I'd only played it the once.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've never played it yet.
I couldn't put it in there. But this is a game that I would happily own. And
I would like to play it as well.
For the right price, I probably would pick it up. So yeah, Rebirth is the game that I decided to highlight today. We played a few games that day, but they were usually.
But you played it before, wasn't that?
I played that one before. It's just been probably a year and a half, nearly 2 years. We played Magical Athlete that day as well, but I've talked about that a lot recently.
Nice.
So among other games, but that was the one that stood out to me as like the highlight of the day. It was really good to get it back to the table, and I'd like to play it again at some point. I think you would enjoy it.
I would like to play it. It's one that again, no one I know owns it. So apart from Board Stupid, but I barely get to play with them as much as I
Of
like
course,
to.
yeah.
So it is one I've wanted to play. I think at one point I was tempted to pick it up at the Essen that we were going to go, but
Yeah.
we had to leave early and they weren't getting more copies to a certain time of that day.
Of course,
So
yeah.
I was just like, I'll wait.
Bit annoying,
whatever.
but yeah.
So yeah.
It is what
But
it
no,
is.
if you ever get it, mate, please, I would like to give it a go.
Yeah, well, never know.
I've heard good things about
Expo's
it,
coming
so-
up. Might pick it up while I'm there if
This
I've
is
got
it.
any spare space in the case with all the list of games that I currently have to buy.
True.
It's a longer list than I've ever had before for Expo, but
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, there's not much else we can really talk about really
No.
with regards to games we've been playing. So should we just get on and answer some questions for some of our listeners and also some of the frequently asked questions from the UKG
First
website?
timers.
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, Anthony. So some questions. We've got about a sheet and a half of questions here. It's big text, so it's not a
Nice.
lot. I think it's about 19 questions that I've picked out to do. Showing my age, I have to wear my glasses for this.
Join the club, sir.
I mean, I have to wear glasses all the time, but usually on camera, I tend not to wear them. But yeah, we'll try and get these right. Some of these have names that I've managed to pick out, but other of them don't. But yeah, we'll just go from the top, shall we?
Let's do it.
Go through the question, and then we'll sort of answer
Try and answer
what
as
we
much
both
as we
think.
can.
Yeah, cool. So the first question we got here is from Oliver P. I can't remember where I picked this one up from, but is it worth getting a map ahead of time, or will using the app be enough for someone attending for their first time? So obviously, they do put out the Expo map usually about 2 weeks before the show.
Yeah.
So by the time this goes out, that might be live. But also that you have a digital version of that on the app.
On the app, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess there's multiple things to take from this, because I personally would just prefer to use the app.
Well, when the question says ahead of time, I mean, does that mean in preparation before the visit or before we actually go there?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I always say if you want to know where stuff is and you know exactly what you want to go and see, having a map ahead of time is always going to help you.
Absolutely, yeah.
To sort of plan exactly where you need to be. I know people that print the map and sort of put cross marks on the stands that they do want to attend.
Yep.
Which I think is a really good way of doing it. But the other thing I guess we could mention is when you're there, they have you've got like the program, which also has a map in it.
It does, yes.
So you have access to a free printed map when you're there. But for you, is it something that you would use or recommend or plan out?
I mean, not for me, because I've been a few times now, obviously. But I think it's pretty much like you said. If there is something you're specifically looking for and you want to know where it is, so that when you go on the day, you can go straight to it, for example, then that's probably a benefit. But if it's like your first time, I would say just go ahead and just like take it all in, enjoy it. And if there is something you did see, maybe pick up a map later and then you go, oh, actually, that was where I saw it. I'll go back to that then or whatever. So it's a bit of a two-way one there. It's pick and choose. I mean, like I said, if you're experiencing it for the first time, I would say like you not bother, just stick with the app one. But if I'm looking for something particular, like, oh, if Dice Throne's there, I'll Hall 3 that way, and then that's what I would do, yes.
Yeah.
But we have to take it in that this year is obviously much bigger than what we've been to before.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, at the time we're recording, they still haven't actually confirmed the halls that they have, but the heavy rumours are that they've got 6 halls. 1, 2, 3, 3A, 4, and 5. And number 5 is the biggest hall in that section. So,
and we've been going since then. We're only using 3 halls, so now we have 3 extra ones. That's a lot of room to consider. You know, take into consideration.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, and obviously, 20 years ago they were only in the Hilton. So
that's true.
Look at the size difference in 20 years. But yeah, I think map wise, my recommendation really is you only really need to see it in advance if you've got certain things you 100% want to mark out and make sure you don't miss. But other than that, being your first time, my recommendation, as you said, Ant, was just go enjoy it, take in the atmosphere, and if you're there for all 3 days, even better, because spend day one just going around, checking it out, and then maybe use the on-site map to be like, oh, do you know what? I've missed this. I need to go there. How do I get there? Cool, that's where it is.
Not to mention there's plenty of volunteers around that can help you look
100%.
for certain things if you need to get to a certain studio or distributor or whatever. I'm sure they can point you in the right direction as well. So
yeah, 100%.
Plenty of options.
100%. So I hope that answered that question. This is an interesting one. This is a very interesting. This is someone actually coming from outside the UK. Okay, so I am due to be on holiday in the UK at the time of the Expo, and I'm intent on attending the event for just a single day. Coming from Germany, I have only ever been to Spiel, and I'm concerned that one day might not be enough to take in the event properly. Based on your videos, should I prioritise trade halls or the open gaming? That was an Instagram, I think it was a message from Amelia.
Interesting. First off, good timing for the holiday. Let's put it that way.
Did you plan it? That's the question.
Well, yeah, exactly. One day, again, it's all about depending on what you want to do on that day, because it doesn't just offer buying and gaming. Obviously, you've got events and shows and other sort of tournaments and stuff like that. So I think you need to kind of decide, if you are going to go for the day, what you're going to go there for. Like if it's just purely for shopping or if it's just purely for gaming and stuff. If you're trying to do obviously more than one thing, I would probably suggest 2 days, but that's just my opinion personally. What about you, Jason? What do you think on that?
Yes, I struggle with this one because knowing that they've attended Spiel, I can safely say that UK Games Expo is totally different.
Oh, totally.
To Spiel, we are. I'd say our one is far more geared towards the gaming side of it, so you don't really want to miss out on the open gaming side of it. But at the same time, it's a very expensive day to just go and game.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to do the mixture of both. But I'm just going to say it, especially this year, if the rumours are true and they've got all those halls, I don't think you're going to see everything trade-wise and be able to get the gaming in.
Yeah.
I don't think they said which day they were going on. Obviously, if it's a Friday or a Saturday, you've got the option of the late night gaming. So if it is one of those, then 100% spend most of the trade day in the trade halls, and just taking in demos and things like that. Because I wouldn't actually recommend buying games. As someone who's been to Spiel, one thing that kind of sucks about UKG is we don't get many new releases. Nothing is must release at UK Games Expo, unlike Spiel, where it's like, everything comes out at Spiel.
Yeah, it's usually the teaser before Spiel, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like it'll get demoed here, but you purchase it.
That'll be one of the best things, especially if you're attending Spiel this year. You'll get to see games that will probably be released at Spiel this year, and that will be something I think would be interesting. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my recommendation. Is I would check out the trade halls, depending on what kind of games you like. If you're only into big publisher games, that makes it a bit easier because you can stick to the big publisher halls. If you only like indie games, stick to the indie publisher halls. If you would do a nice variety like we do, we're into all types of games. You're going to need more time to go around those trade halls. But just make sure you get some gaming in, because that is our thing. That's the best part for UK Games Expo for me.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say check out the open gaming, but also just enjoy it. Do what you want to do. That's the best thing. It's not like Spiel where it's like you must go, you must buy the newest games, and then go home, because there is no gaming. And that's the difference. You want to experience UK Games Expo for what we do best, and I think that's all I would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Right, what do we got next, Dan?
What do we got?
Oh, this one should be quite quite an easy one, I think. You mentioned in one of your you mentioned in your con bag video that a portable charger is a must. Do you find the NEC's Wi-Fi drains batteries as fast as everyone says? I don't think it's the Wi-Fi that drains it. I think it's the abysmal signal.
Yeah, that's true.
So your phone's constantly searching for signal.
Until you go out in the smoking area, then you've got beautiful signal. But
exactly.
Apart from that, yeah.
So yeah, I'm.
Definitely not the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with the Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
I can't even remember if there is Wi-Fi, to be completely honest.
If it is, I've definitely not ever used it in the NEC. I mean, I've used the hotel one, obviously, but not.
But yeah, obviously, if you are watching the videos, my main thing would be I regularly say go outside for fresh air and stuff like that. That's where you're going to need your phone signal. But yeah, when you're on the inside, your phone will constantly be searching for signal because it's awful. Okay, talking about sensory breaks, your tip talking about sensory break was great to hear, as I was worrying I might become a little overcome when I attend. Are there any quiet spots in the NEC you would recommend? Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple. Like, I think ones that we personally use.
Yep.
Like, we have the train station section that we do. Not to mention the long tunnel that connects the train station to...
a couple of minute walk.
Exactly. It's kind of away from everyone, and there's a few restaurants or snack shops there if you like feel like your blood sugar's a bit low or something and just need to, bit of sustenance to get you back going. It's nice and away from everyone.
And I'll say that as well. I think we've said it in previous episodes, other years.
Yeah.
While we don't recommend buying food in the NEC, or even while you're there, really, they are the cheapest options in that area as opposed to the NEC, as well as Resorts World. But
plenty of outdoor areas as well. Again, outside the NEC, you've got the other hotels, and then at far end, you've got the Megaplex that does all the restaurant stuff. But between that, you've got that lake you can sit around and just chill out for a bit. So there's plenty of spaces. The smoking area, I wouldn't say much for a calm down session because it can get very packed and seating's very limited in that area. But there are many, many places to find spots to chill out.
I believe there is like sensory zones that UK Games Expo have, but I'm very lucky that I don't have those issues, so I'm not 100% where they are or whether they even exist, but I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah.
Quiet rooms, stuff like that. But yeah, as Ant said, go outside the NEC. That's your best bet because it's going to give you that fresh air as well. If you do want to go for a little wander to the lake, it's a 2-minute walk, and that's going to help you with the breath of fresh air as well because you are getting away from all the smokers which will be stood outside.
As well as you're not as claustrophobic around too many people and stuff. Exactly. Because I get like that sometimes. I feel like too many people are barging me and I get aggravated and I feel like, you know what, it's in the second to myself, So,
that could potentially be a big issue this year with being the 20th anniversary. I'm expecting a lot more people this year. So, the sensory break is non-negotiable for me. Like I said, I don't particularly suffer with that kind of stuff, but I need a break every now and again. Or my temper, I lose my temper.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that. So yeah, there we go. That is Arthur. That was from Instagram as well. Okay, this is one I think we've both said about in the past on recommendations. You have said previously about wearing the correct shoes. Are we talking trainers or do I need hiking boots for the concrete floors? That's an interesting one. I've not really thought about hiking boots.
I'm not a fan of boots personally, especially walking all day. But
yeah, see, I wear boots for work, and I can't imagine being in them all day doing that. I suppose if they are designed for walking, but then again, they're designed for arguably outside. So smooth concrete, which is just solid, as opposed to the differences between grass and mud.
I think it depends on what you prefer wearing, full stop.
Yeah.
Like if there are people that prefer boots I mean, I wear trainers with really comfortable memory foam in them, so they are perfect for long walks and standing up all day. So, because my job entitles me to do that as well. So, I'm very familiar with stuff like wearing those types of shoes. Boots can help in a degree. Like if you think people are going to step on your toes as much and you wear steel toe caps, then that's fine. Personally, for me, I would stick with the trainers or some sort of running shoes or trainers, something like that, purely for comfort. But if you're more of a fan of preferring to wear boots, then there's nothing against wearing boots by all means.
Yeah. Obviously, my key thing is, especially by the time this one comes out and this advice is returns, while I say wearing brand new shoes is good, they need to be broken in properly.
Expect them to be christened.
What you're saying about having the extra soles in there with the memory foam, that will obviously help as well because it's an extra layer of cushion. But yeah, I prefer trainers personally, as light a weight trainers as possible. And the other thing that I recommend as well is change your socks about halfway through the day, because that helps to refresh your feet as well. That's more of a psychological thing, but trust me, it works. So yeah, there you go. That's
if you like staying in your own socks all day, hey, no biases.
Exactly. Trust me, you feel fresh. That's brilliant. What have we got next, Dan?
So, from Mia via Facebook, she's asking, is it better to stay in the Birmingham city centre and train it in, or to try and find an Airbnb close by?
Oh, okay. So, the first thing I would say is you've left it a bit late.
Yeah.
I mean, to start with, you've left it quite late. The costs right now are going to be very, very high, but staying in the city centre will make that a little bit cheaper. Now, I have no problem. We've never stayed in the city centre.
No.
But you have stayed off-site previously, haven't you?
First time, yeah.
I've always stayed not on-site, but within the vicinity of the airport and the NEC. Sometimes just slightly further afield. So I know a lot of people that stay off-site and train it in, and they've never had an issue. It saves you the parking fine, not parking fines, the parking costs. You obviously have a little bit of a petrol cost there, but it's minimal.
Yeah.
So it is a very good option, and it's actually an option we were talking about for next year to try and keep our costs down. So I guess in that instance, we do recommend staying off site and getting the training. But British Rail. What's the reason we're driving this year, Ant?
Well, another potential strike the same weekend that happens to be the same weekend as UKGE.
Yeah,
which has happened in the past for you, apparently.
It has. So, a couple of years ago we had the train strikes, and we ended up having to stay an extra night in order to be able to get home on the train. Wasn't a major issue, but it was a pain. Whereas, I don't believe there's any strikes that will affect that area this year. But anyone coming from the south, same as us. The London Tube are on strike that entire weekend. So if you are travelling by train and you require an underground connection in London, they will be on strike. I would strongly recommend not doing that, unless you've got another option. But yeah, I think staying off site and travelling in is a pretty good option, and it is a good way to keep costs down. So what was the other half of that question? I've completely forgot.
Or try and find an Airbnb close by. So,
so same principle. Airbnb, you're still going to have to travel in. So yeah, I think I've answered that. In my personal opinion. What about you? As someone who has stayed off.
So I've done both versions to that question really. The first time was fine. It was cheaper, but we managed to, like Jason said, we had to drive in every day. We had to park far away from where the NEC is. Depending on how early you get there, I mean, obviously you get a closer parking space, so that's an issue as well. But if you've got money, and a lot of money, because the reason we kind of have our normal hotel that we go to, which we're not actually going to this year, I'm afraid, because the prices for it were just astronomical for UKG this year.
3 times the amount.
Exactly. So if you've got the money, then that's what I would recommend. But I think for future reference, it's going to have to be an Airbnb. But it depends on the group of people you go with as well, because the first time I went was at an Airbnb, and I went with a group of guys that had, always had a busy day at UKG, and they wanted to come away from the nightlife of it and just play games at the Airbnb with the group of guys.
Yeah.
So, but if you want to stay and be sociable and enjoy, the nightlife of UKG, shall we say, which is purely you just gaming anyway, then yeah, stay closer, and it's really great to do it. But again, it depends on, I'd say, who the company is you're going to be with. For my question.
Yeah. That's fair. I would agree with that as well. So I hope that answers the question.
All right, so we've got Noah via YouTube saying, we are staying for the first time at one of the hotels situated on the grounds of Birmingham Airport.
Okay.
Do I need a shuttle, taxi, or bus, or shall we walk it?
Okay, so I've never stayed on site at the airport.
Right.
But I do stay at the hotel. It's where we are this year. In fact, we're at a hotel on the other side of the airport, but still within the grounds of the airport. Now, the ones that are actually at the airport, they are within walking distance, easily within walking distance. However, there is a free monorail system, much like Gatwick Airport's transit
like
system. Between the two terminals. Totally free, operates right up till, I believe it's 1:45. So it doesn't run right up to when the cut-off for the halls is.
So that's midnight, right?
That's midnight. Right. So if you are staying there till midnight, you're going to have to walk back. But yeah, there is a free system, and that is about 2 minutes walk from all the hotels that are on site at there, and it takes about 2 minutes to transfer you over to where the NEC is. So that's my recommendation is to use that. It's totally free. You don't have to have tickets for airlines or anything to use it.
Another expense in the day or anything?
It's not another expense. There are public buses that also operate 24 hours a day. So if you do get back after that's finished, you don't want to walk or you can't walk, there are public systems that will take you there. I believe the government's still doing their subsidised cheap bus fares. Right. But other than that, I wouldn't get an Uber. Avoid that at all costs. Same with taxis, because you'll get premium rate, because if you're going from Resorts World, it's very much a tourist destination, so it's a premium price. You're going to an airport, it's a premium price. Avoid those at all costs. There is free and cheap ways of doing it. Nice. But you've not stayed at the airport, have you? So, and you don't even know the airport.
Nope.
So
I can't really answer that question. That's one for Jason. I think more to the side of, if you're going to use any type of transportation instead of walking, is maybe because of what you're carrying around and stuff, because you might have obviously games to play. There's a lot to carry around and stuff. Then might consider other alternatives than walking, but walking is obviously the best bet.
100%, right? Yeah. And for timing wise as well, 10 minutes from your hotel to the NEC. It's really, really close.
Nice.
All right.
Next one is from George via Discord.
Oh, yes.
Every time I attend, I always find myself right at the back of the queue to get in. How early do I actually need to get to the NEC on a Friday to beat the big queue?
How long was a piece of string, Ant?
Yeah, well.
Right. I don't know about you and the different times you've turned up over the years.
Well, you always save my space, Jason, because you're there way ahead than me. So
yeah,
this is another one for you.
Yeah, sorry. So the earliest I've ever been at the venue was probably about 7:30 in the morning. I reckon I arrived, and there were people there ready queuing. Don't get me wrong, the queue wasn't massive at that time. We're talking maybe 50 people at that point in each of the queues, because there's obviously multiple queues. So, I mean, if you're talking you don't mind being in the first 50, 7:30. If you want to be right at the front, I can't give you that answer because I've never seen the front of the queue.
Yeah.
I would imagine 7:00. But what you need to think about is there is the Waterstones within the NEC. Yeah. And a lot of the gamers have their breakfast in the Waterstones, and I believe that opens at 6 a.m.
Wetherspoons, you mean?
Well, that's it, Wetherspoons, sort of say. That opens at, I believe, 6 a.m. So there is an option that people could be there from 6 a.m. getting breakfast and then going and sitting in the queue. But yeah, I mean,
I suppose it depends what you're queuing for as well, because
yeah,
there's going to be 6 halls now, so it's not going to be just one per. You know, you got 6 different queues now
of course,
in theory.
yeah.
So, I've personally noticed that there's been a queue system, and some people just jam in and enjoy themselves and walk straight through.
Yeah.
I personally don't think you've got much of an issue with queuing, unless there's a game like that's exclusive and you really want to get to it. Then that's probably the reason why you want to jump the queue or be close to it. But I don't personally see any reason apart from that to not.
Agreed. Queue. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that you're saying this is because you want to be there to get the games that you want to get. You know, to walk briskly to the stands to get the games you want. At that point, my recommendation is, how much do you want the game against having an extra hour in bed?
Yeah. Or if it's a demo you're particularly after, sometimes you can do it via email as well, so you don't have to queue that or get there quickly and you'll go up. So it's just better to prepare yourself for that and see if there's like a specific game company you want to do a demo for, and see you can get in touch with them and ask them via their website if they're going to do demos via email, which might be easier for you to not queue up for.
Yeah, that's a good shout. But yeah, to answer your question, in short, 7 a.m. would be my recommendation if you want to be right at the front.
Nice. Next one is from Amy via Instagram. So, is there a safe space or place, to store a suitcase if my hotel check-in isn't until 3 p.m.?
No.
Next question.
I mean, all joking aside, I don't know, because when the convention's on, you do have the bag and coat drop-off place,
right,
where they charge you the money to, the cloakroom. I don't think that is open until the Friday.
Right.
So I would imagine that
I've personally not seen any left baggage, left luggage places there to do that, and I don't see any lockers or anything like that at all.
No, there's definitely nothing like lockers there. And if it's not a paid service, I wouldn't be using it. Just security wise, it is an airport. Don't leave your bags lying about anywhere.
No, it does sound a bit of a ball, but if you go with a group of people, then if you need to wander off, then just leave with them and stuff. But as far as I'm aware,
the answer is no.
No. Yeah. But I'm sure maybe in the future there might be. People keep bringing the question up or asking about it.
Yeah, like I say, I think there is a bag drop or a coat room that they might.
But it won't be open until on the weekend itself.
But I don't think it's open until the weekend. So yeah, sorry, I don't have a better answer than that.
Thomas from Facebook. I'm driving to the venue for the first time this year. What is the parking situation like?
Oh, well, and you've driven. Well, you've not driven, but you've been driven.
Yeah, I've been driven.
I've only ever driven once, which was the very first year I was there, and I paid VIP parking because I didn't know any better. So I was actually very happy. I was right at the very front. I also arrived at about 10 a.m. on the day before the expo. So my experience of parking at the venue is not good. So
I've only done
it. For you.
Yeah, so I've only done it once, which was the first time I went with the group of guys who invited me over. So I think it's a case of what I was saying about you. If you want to park. So the parking situation is not bad. NEC has its own parking and it is massive.
Yeah.
Do you not
There's
get me wrong?
lots of parking.
There is lots of parking, and when it looks full, they've got more parking down the very far end and stuff like that. The only problem is that the later you get there, the further you will have to park.
Yeah.
So say that this is the NEC and that's the entrance, you'd probably end up parking all the way down the other side of the room, to be honest. Yeah. Which is what we did. But at the end of the day, we still had a space. We still had somewhere to store our games and stuff. We didn't want to carry stuff around. So my quick answer to your question is there is no issue with parking. It's just how close do you want to be to the NEC? The sooner the better, basically.
Yeah. So, like I said, my experience is purely hearing stories from other people that have done this. But I believe there is a shuttle bus that operates from especially the further afield car parks. But you usually end up having to queue for that bus and wait for that bus, at which point most people say it's actually quicker to walk. And you're talking about a 15, 20-minute walk in order to get there. So if what you're asking is, can I park close? The answer is probably no, unless you're there super early. If you really want the closest one, you're going to have to pay the VIP prices, which when I looked recently was very expensive.
Yeah, or depending on where you're staying, like the hotel we did previously behind the NEC, that hotel parking, that was literally just behind it.
Yep.
Again, no issues because you've got the hotel. So it all depends, like Jason said, if it's for the actual NEC or if it's for somewhere you're staying. So yeah. Plenty of options.
The one final recommendation I can give with regards to parking is something that when a lot of people ask me about parking, this is the recommendation I give. You can park in the Resorts World car park. However, I think it's 20 odd pounds a day.
An hour.
It's pretty expensive, but if you spend, I think it's £20 on site at Resorts World, which, let's be honest, if you're going to have lunch, if there's more than one of you, you're going to spend more than 20 quid.
Yep.
You validate your ticket, and that takes your parking down to about £3 or £4 for the day.
That's nice.
Which is a very good price for that area. However, as I'm sure you can believe, a lot of people do that now, so that car park fills up very quickly.
And just to mention, there is a concert hall opposite that hall
There
as
is.
well. So when concerts or gigs are happening, then that parking tends to get filled up quite easily as well.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, the NEC, while we've got the bulk of the NEC, the big bit, there are other events going on at the NEC this year. So there will be people attending those as well. I believe there's a concert on the Saturday.
Oh, there we go. So yeah.
So there's a lot going on this year that people need to be aware of, which is again why hotels have become so much more expensive. Good question.
Lucas via Instagram has said, "Are there many unreleased prototypes to play, or is it mostly finished games?" Now, I believe CGE has a prototype this year.
There's a few prototypes being, you've got...
And a lot of indie games are prototypes as well.
Publisher-wise, yes, there's quite a few prototypes that often get shown off. We said earlier, didn't we?
Paverson had one last year, didn't they?
Paverson, they've got another one this year as well.
There we go.
So yeah, a lot of the publishers will have some prototypes there. Usually the ones that are going to be released at Expo or coming to Kickstarter soon. But what I think I say when it comes to prototypes is you are going to want the playtest zone. The dedicated zone that is all about prototype games. And you will get hundreds, if not thousands, of games being played in there over the weekend. They get the designers come along with their game. They have a set amount of time to try and demo it to as many people as they possibly can, get some feedback on it, and then they go off into the sunset and try and develop their game a bit more. So prototype wise, if that's what you're into, that's where you want to go. And what was the other part was
mostly finished games.
So yeah, buying wise, yeah, they're all finished. There's a lot in the trade halls. The trade halls are massive. I guess if you the way that's worded percentage wise, I don't know, 90% are going to be games for sale, 5% games that are coming up, and then 5% will be prototypes. I think that's a fairly even breakdown.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Would you say any different?
No. I mean, like you said, it's a lot of companies that are producing a game or a prototype for a game that won't be out for another 2 years yet or so. But some of them do the big unveil at UKG, like we mentioned. Paverson did one of theirs last year. It wasn't playable. It was literally just a prototype. But then the year before that, I believe, was the Class of '89. Was again very prototype stage.
I believe it was.
It was all just black and white colored and stuff. So it depends on your term of prototype. Like actual play prototype, yes, there are far and few. But an actual prototype, like something is, this is coming out soon. There definitely is, but it's a very small margin on that.
Yeah.
What else we got, Jace?
Okay, so this next one is off of Facebook. Someone from Derby, which is just down the road, actually.
Nice.
Mohammed A. I'm a solo gamer from Derby. Is it easy to find players wanted groups for heavy Euros? So first thing I will say on that is I did cover this a little bit in one of my videos. There is a looking for players section on the website where you can either host a game where you're looking for players, or you can browse to see what games are currently being played and where, and how many players they're looking for. These are done in half-hour slots. So if someone hosts a game, it's only going to appear there for half hour, which means it's active, and you know that it's not someone who's posted it 4 hours ago and they've already played the game and buggered off. So that's the main recommendation I have when it comes to searching for games. But I guess the other one is roaming the games halls, right?
I was literally about to say that. I have had so many great experiences meeting other players just going through those halls. I'm a bit of a lazy parker myself, and I like to see what people are playing.
Yep.
And I saw a bunch of guys before, they were just setting up a game, and I believe it's like Monster Hunter World, the board game version. I love the video games. I was like, oh my god, what is that? Monster Hunter. It's like, and they were like, yeah, come on, you want to play? This is like, as much as I love to do. We had an interview to go to, so
yep.
Didn't really have, but I have never ever had an issue with anyone like in that game hall, or either looking at what you're playing, or they're interested in what you're playing. Like, I remember building the dice tower for Fate of the Fellowship whilst I was waiting for you guys to come back from the interview you were doing, and people were just like, whoa, what game is that? And it's like, I'm not setting it up, I'm just building it. But I never have anyone that's not been either inviting or just nice to chat to there. I guaranteed if you just took a Hero Euro with you, set up on the table, and just sat there waiting, people will come and join you instantly.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would just, while I'm not a heavy Euro gamer, there has been many a time that I've walked through the halls, and much like yourself, I'm sort of checking out what's going on, what are people playing. I'm enjoying seeing all the wonderful games on show. And maybe on one strip, I might look at every single game, and I might be offered a space on 2 or 3 of them if they're, not started the game yet. Be, oh yeah, we've got space if you want to join us. As I said, that's not necessarily heavy games.
Yeah.
But it just shows that people are willing. As for heavy games, I think back to last year. I want to say it was Galactic Cruise that was huge.
Yes, yeah.
And I must have seen 10 copies of that being played at any one time in the games halls.
Yep.
And not all of those had full accompaniment of players. So I'm pretty sure that if you saw a game that was being set up and you sort of approached them nicely and just, well, would you mind if I joined in? Have you got a space?
Or even just watch so you know what the rules are or something.
Yeah.
So they're always, I've never had anyone, unless obviously they're halfway through a game or something, then obviously don't be, an a-hole about the situation. But again, it's such a great community to deal with at the end of the day. You'd have no issues finding players.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think that's probably going to be the best option there. But yeah, like I said, do make use of the looking for players thing on the website. I think it's on the app as well.
Yeah.
Because that seems like they're really pushing that this year. It's sort of like a lot of smaller conventions have like the flag system where you put a flag up whether you're looking for players or not. This is just a digital version of it.
Nice.
Oh, this is pretty pretty on the nose, this one. Is it worth going on Sunday, or is the hall basically empty by then?
I quite like Sundays. Hear me out on this.
Okay.
Especially if you're buying. Because sellers want to get rid of their stuff. And you will be so surprised at how much stuff goes down, preferably on a Sunday afternoon, so not Sunday morning.
After 2 p.m.
Yeah, after 2 p.m, all of a sudden it goes down. There's the damage price. And even though there's nothing wrong with the box or whatever.
It's like, oh yeah, we'll knock off 20%.
Like 20, 30, 40% off. Because they don't want to take it home with them. They'd rather sell it and you guys carry their rubbish for them, or their games for them, sorry to say.
Yep.
But Sunday is like, you probably won't find as much stuff as the first 2 days.
I mean,
but if you're looking for a deal, totally on Sunday.
If you're looking for the hotness, no, it's not going to be there on the Sunday. And he's dead right in what he says. I've brought this up in a couple of the budget videos that I've done. If it's a game that you want but you can wait for, then I recommend waiting through to the Sunday, because as you said, come that 2 o'clock, they're looking at that and going, we've paid to have this shipped here. We're going to have to pay to ship it back. and we're going to have to load that onto a pallet. We're going to have to do all this, and we've been here for 3 days. We just want to rest. We're irritable. A lot of these stands will just say, look, whack off 20% at 2 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, it's 35%. By 3:30, half an hour before the halls close, bosh, there you go, 50% off.
This is it.
It's a bargain for them.
And if the price doesn't actually say it, I mean,
you never know. Barter.
Barter with them. I mean, or bundle it up and then they take another 20% off of the whole lot for you. Who knows?
There you go.
Sundays are worth it, in my opinion.
I would agree. Sundays is probably my favourite day because it's probably the quietest. But yeah, if you are literally only going for 1 day and you are only interested really in the hotness, you need Friday.
Yes.
You will not get the hotness. Demo-wise, yes, you'll get that on a Sunday. Buying the hotness, no. It'll be gone.
Sunday bargain day.
Bargain day. Are there phone charging stations, or should I rely entirely on my power bank? I don't know if I have seen charging stations.
I don't think there is. I mean, I've taken my power bank the last couple of times. Yeah. So
my power bank will do at least 2 to 3 charges. Yeah. So I've never really felt the need.
And the problem is if you're looking for an actual plug, I believe there's a few by the entrance of the toilets and stuff, and I'm sure you don't want people walking past you whilst you're trying to charge your phone whilst they're trying to go to the toilet and stuff. But apart from that,
plug-wise, they're dotted about. But actual dedicated phone charging areas. I know that a lot of places have phone charging lockers now. I don't recall seeing them.
Maybe some of the restaurants do. I don't hold me to that, but everything needs one nowadays, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of the restaurants do them now.
Yeah. I reckon you'd have more luck with that over at Resorts World. Yeah. And the shopping area of Resorts World.
But at the end of the day, I would take a power bank just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. There's a reason that's one of my daily combag carries. Sorry, can't answer that 100%, but as far as I'm aware, no, there is not phone charging stations. Is there a cosplay culture at UKG, or is it strictly board games? Well, what about that massive Warhammer guy that's there every single year?
Yeah, I mean, I think cosplay's always been there. I mean, it's not been like, I don't think they do like cosplay competitions or stuff like that. But there have been, I've seen Ghostbusters and Doctor Who's and all that sort of stuff.
The Daleks going around constantly.
The Warhammer guy, like you say, I think he's like a famous American cosplayer or something, or like, isn't he? But I do believe it's getting bigger every year. I mean, you mentioned to me the other day, we've got celebrities being at this one as well, who are part of sci-fi stuff, which isn't anything to do with, board game related. So, no, I mean, it's not just for board games, but like I say, if you've got a spare Ghostbusters out for something, show it off, do it. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. There's, with regards to the culture of it, there's plenty of attendees that go in cosplay. A good friend of ours, actually, their daughter usually will go in dressed in various different things. There are plenty of people that go dressed in cosplay.
And with games, I think I would love to see more people cosplayed, and honestly, so you won't have an issue cosplaying if that's what you want to do there.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say, yes, there is a cosplay culture. Does the NEC get really hot with that many people? Should I wear layers? Yes and no.
Definitely no. It's end of May. It's always hot. Why would you wear layers?
Yeah. Avoid that at all costs. It gets really hot in that room, especially on Saturday.
Yeah. Even in the outside smoking area, it's too friggin' hot out there. So.
So no, for the love of God, do not wear any layers. Are there any hidden gem pubs near the NEC that aren't packed with 500 gamers? This is Willow H.
I don't recall. I mean, there's a few bars and stuff, but I don't. We
there's a couple, isn't there?
We tend to have our own little hotspot.
We do,
which I don't know if we're allowed to say.
I will mention it.
It's nothing major
because. We go there on Thursday night, so you come and see us if you really want to. But there is a Weatherspoons in the NEC. That gets very busy. And yes, it is full of gamers. Why wouldn't you want to drink with gamers? We're all great. But as we said, if you head over to Resorts World, we personally use the bar in the Hollywood Bowl that's there. On a Thursday, it's dead.
As a dodo.
Dead as a dodo. Until we arrive, obviously, I start drinking
And all the
cocktails and it
fans
all
get
gets
their
very
shows up.
loud. But yeah, so there is the bar over there. I believe there's a couple of bars within Resorts World, but I don't
Yes,
know.
because there's
100%.
there is. There's like a cocktails bar and stuff like that, isn't
Yeah,
there? In
yeah.
the Resorts World and stuff.
Obviously, you've got the restaurants over there as well, the Pizza Express. They all have bars in them as well. If that's all you really want, I'm sure they'll happily sell you some
Problem
drinks.
is, if that Weatherspoons gets overrun, they will just go over there. So if you don't want to be with gamers, probably not as much there.
Yeah.
But like you said, you've got the town centre out of the NEC. I'm sure there's plenty there and stuff. But
yeah, I mean, there's villages all around the NEC. If you really wanted to, they're 15, 20-minute walk. I'm sure there'll be village pubs around
But
there.
yeah, if you want a bit of space from everyone else, then Hollywood Bowl would probably be a different go for you. It's not much of a bar per se, but hey, it has a bar. So
yeah, exactly. We enjoy it.
It's our little Thursday night tradition there.
It is, yeah. Okay, so we have one more question, Ant, and then we can wrap it up. If I can only attend one day, what is the best for a Meeple-minded fan, Friday or Saturday? I mean, are you saying in order to meet us? Or just you happen to be a fan and you want to know what the best day is? Because I guess, the answers are, fairly similar. If it's a case of you want to meet us, I would say avoiding the Friday is probably best, because
we'll be busy.
Tends to be the day that we do a lot of interview stuff. We're not adverse to meeting people on a Friday, but we'll usually be either on our way somewhere or coming from somewhere and going somewhere else. Saturday is a bit more relaxed on that front. But as for what day would you recommend, Friday or Saturday, as a normal just attending?
Friday for me.
I think I'd say Friday. So if you were hoping to get an answer for both of those that were the same.
Look, if you want to meet us, Saturday. If you want to buy stuff, Friday.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, please come see us.
Friday will be less busy. Saturday is always incredibly busy. But if it's the day that you're saying you want to come meet up with us, Saturday is going to be the better day, and we'll likely be in the games hall somewhere in bright blue.
Come see us, or bright pink.
Or bright pink. I'll have redone my hair again by then. So yeah, that's it. That's
it.
That's the 19 questions. Can you believe it?
Wow.
How did you find that? Did you?
That's fine.
Especially as I threw you in at the deep end on this one, because I was like, oh yeah, we're going to answer some questions. I'm not going to tell you what the questions are, but
it's a normal Meeple-minded way, eh?
Oh yes. I get the best out of you that way.
This is it.
Get the best out of you.
But any more questions or anything else you need, advice for, please comment below and let us know, and hopefully one of us can get back to you with that as soon as possible.
Indeed, yeah. I will try and answer these personally as well, just in case they don't see the episode.
If you are a Meeple-minded fan, you would see it, but it's fine.
Yeah,
we'll let you on.
But yeah, it's nice to actually see these questions and be able to answer some of them. Unfortunately, we didn't get all of them that well, but
let's hope it's helped you out a little bit, and we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, maybe there's some questions in there that you hadn't even thought of, and we've managed to answer them in advance for you. So yeah,
nice.
I don't know if we're going to get another podcast out before the show.
Never mind.
I'm sure we'll try, but if not, we of course will be doing a show when we get back, where we talk about our experiences, as we always do,
and what we bought. James won't be on that episode,
of course. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this year. It's so close now. It's so close. It feels like it's within touching distance.
Within grasp.
It's that time of year. We're very excited, and we hope you are too. Do you have anything else you want to add today, Ant, before we sign off from these wonderful people?
No, but like I said, just very quickly, that if you're up for any content during UKG, I'm sure Jason and ourselves will be recording stuff for you. You can stick with the channel if you didn't get to make it at all, and hopefully we can give you what you missed out on. But also, if you like what you listen to or watch, please like, share, comment, and
subscribe. Couldn't have said it better myself, sir. Couldn't have said it better myself. But if that is everything, Ant, that is everything from me. I have been Jason.
I've been Ant.
And you have been watching or listening to the Meeple Minded podcast. Join us next time for more tabletop gaming goodness, probably after UKGE, where we'll be coming down off the hype train. But until then, ta-ta and goodbye.